Live. What's going on, everyone? Thank you all so much for tuning in at this time. Everybody that's here, greatly appreciate it. Anybody watching this on the replay, thank you so much. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Well, Lakers they couldn't get stops, right? Lakers, that second quarter really bit them, right? Because they just couldn't score the basketball. They went on like, a 5-minute stretch where they just couldn't get a bucket to save their lives. Warriors got the lead, extended it to I think it was like 16 at one point, and just never looked back, right? Lakers just couldn't get over the hump. They got it to like 8. They got it to 7 a couple times. Pod and even Draymond was hitting threes. I mean, they just were they wanted it more. These are two teams that were desperate, two teams that needed to get this win, and one team showed up, the other team didn't, right? One team got the job done and did what they were supposed to do and executed and everything, and the other team did it. I mean, it's that simple, right? I mean, it's frustrating because the Warriors are right on our tail, right? Luckily, we have the tiebreaker because we beat them the other 3 times. So we have the tiebreaker against them, and we still have a game, in the loss column, right? So we really need Denver to beat the Warriors, and then the Lakers should be fine because they'd have essentially a 3-game lead with the tiebreaker on them. But even then, it's frustrating, right? Like, again, it's not their size. Lakers match up great size-wise. It's just the hustle, right? Warriors, and the first quarter, Lakers looked like a completely different team from the rest of the game. Completely different team. First quarter, they were getting after it. They were rebounding the basketball. They were, like, dominating the glass, right? It was like 5-0 and second chance opportunities. And then the Warriors were just like, hey, we're just going to keep up the intensity. We're just going to keep up the effort. We're going to keep, being aggressive. And the Lakers just laxed. They just stopped with the effort. And then they couldn't get stops. Warriors kept executing. Warriors kept doing what they were supposed to be doing. And, they got the win. Credit the Warriors. Warriors clearly wanted it more. They wanted it. But it's so frustrating to watch this. All right. It's so frustrating to watch the Lakers just be incredibly inconsistent, particularly in this game, right? You needed this. You needed this game. You won 3 out of 4. You're going to the Warriors, right? You have 7 games. Now you have the Pelicans tomorrow. You got to beat the Pelicans. Luka, man, Luka's got to figure out his offensive struggles, right? Like, again, early when he first got here, and he was inconsistent. He had his ups and downs. I defended him. Not even when people were, because I was like, dude, he just got back from injuries on a brand new team, trying to figure some stuff out. Let's be patient. Let's figure it out, right? Give him time to figure it out. He's at dime, right? Like, he's struggling to shoot the basketball. He's struggling to score the basketball. Look, Luka's still getting to his spots. He's getting his shot off. So it's not like, teams are clamping him up, right? He's getting everything he wants. He's just not hitting it. He had like 3 bunnies just like right there that he just missed, right? And just like he's spending more time crying to the refs than he is focusing on the game, right? Like, you want to cry to the refs? Give me 40, right? Cry all you want. Win this game. Like LeBron James, he showed up. LeBron James did what he was supposed to do. LeBron, had 33? Austin Reeves came alive towards the end. He hit like 4 threes towards the end, right? Like, it's frustrating, right? Like, Luka's got to figure it out, right? Luka's, again, he's getting his shots off. So it's not like, Warriors, deterred him, or any of these other teams are, deterred him or anything like that. He's literally getting to every single spot he wants to. He's getting his shots up, right? He's getting the looks. Yeah, they're contested, but they're always contested. It's Luka, right? That's what makes Luka so great, is that he can knock down the contested shots. He's not worried about the contested shots, right? Like, and yet he's got to figure that out. He's got to figure out his offense, right? He's still doing other things. I actually thought he was good defensively. This game, I thought he was staying in front of guys. He was active, right? I mean, he got put in the blender a couple times by Steph, but, again, he's not, no one should expect him to be a lockdown clamps defender. Can he just be serviceable, right? Can he just be not unplayably defensively, right? Like, that's all you're hoping for. Look, I still think the Lakers are fine. Like, I don't think that this is like Chicken Little, the sky is falling. But again, it's the lack of effort, hustle, don't have rim protection, right? Like that doesn't help. Jackson Hayes, like I said, he's great, but he's not he's not what we need. He's not a starting center. As much as I like him, he's not a starting center, right? But again, we just couldn't get stops. You couldn't generate stops down the stretch. Lakers were scoring. Lakers were like Warriors weren't really stopping them very much, right? Like Lakers were hitting shots and doing everything. They just had that stretch in the second and they just weren't able to recover, right? They had that 5-minute stretch where they just couldn't score the basketball. We couldn't stop the Warriors. The Warriors started scoring and ended up pulling ahead. And next thing you know, they never looked back. Lakers just couldn't look back. So again, it's frustrating. It's not what you want to see from the Lakers. You want to see them show up and do what they're supposed to do. You want to see them handle their business and win these games, right? Especially these games that are important, right? Like the Warriors, they're right on our tail. Again, we still have the home court. We still have a full game lead on them. Really need Denver to beat them because that would give us, and if the Lakers beat the Pelicans, that would give us another 2 games. Plus, we have the tiebreaker. So it's really like 3 games. And then at that point, I think the Lakers will be fine. At that point, I don't think the Warriors will catch the Lakers. But we could face the Warriors in the first round, which I still like that matchup. I still think playoffs is a very different thing. I still like the matchup. The Lakers' issue was just, a lot of ways, was just effort. Right? Like Warriors just outplayed them, out-hustled them. Pod turned into, prime Klay Thompson out there. I mean, even Draymond. Draymond was like 4-21 from 3 coming into this game, and he hit, 2 or 3? How many threes did he hit? He hit, how many Draymond hit? He hit, 2. He was 2 of 4 from 3, right? So, again, you're not winning very many games when you're not able to generate stops. They hit 19 threes, shot 45% from three-point range. You had Pod hit 8 of 10 from 3, right? Like, you gotta do a better job of defending that. You gotta do a better job of handling business, defending the perimeter, right? Lakers' size is fine against the Warriors. Like the Warriors weren't like killing us. A lot of the things were just second chance opportunities. Were just, again, lack of effort. Lakers had 14 offensive rebounds, and so did the Warriors. The Lakers should not be losing the offensive rebound battle to the Warriors, right? Yeah, they don't have like that great center or whatever, but they have more size overall, right? It's just you're getting guys that were hustling and chasing down to the ball. And that's the difference, right? I mean, you look at the three-pointers made. Lakers made 18. Warriors made 19. Lakers shot 38% from 3. Warriors shot 45.2% from 3. But again, a lot of it was just hustle and lack of effort. But let's do the player breakdown, and then we'll jump into all the Super Chat questions. See a couple Super Chats trickling in, so keep sending those in, and then we'll jump into the regular chat after the Super Chat questions. So getting into it, right? Rui Hachimura had a great game. He was solid this game. 9 of 15, 3 of 6 from 3, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 24 points. So he was one of the guys that showed up. LeBron James LeBron did everything he could. Like, genuinely. The guy did everything he could to try to win this game. He loves to play the Warriors, which is another reason I like the matchup, right? LeBron is probably going to average 30 in a Warriors matchup in the playoffs. It's just, can Luka get out of his slump? I mean, Luka was terrible offensively. Again, he did some nice things, but he was terrible offensively. But LeBron, 10 of 15, 5 of 8 from 3. He was even 8 of 9 from the foul line, which was great. 9 assists, 5 rebounds, a steal, a block, and then 33 points. Jackson Hayes, he was 1 of 4 with 3 rebounds, 2 points. Again, the guy, he's just not a great rebounder. He's good in small doses. He is great in a backup role as your starter. I just don't buy him as a starter. Austin Reeves was great. He was 10 of 20 from the floor. He hit 9 threes. He was 9 of 16 from three-point range. 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 31 points. Again, he kind of came up. He came alive. He started hot, like insanely hot, and then like disappeared in the second and third, and then got insanely hot again in the fourth. But at that point, again, it was already too late. And then Luka's got to figure it out. Again, I defended him early on because he just got to a new team. He just got, back from injury. But now, dude, he's played 30 games for the Lakers or whatever, 25 games, whatever it's been for the Lakers. Like, he's got to start finding his consistency. Again, he's getting all his shots. He's getting to his spots. He's just not hitting. Right? He's 6 of 17 from the floor, 0 of 6 from 3, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, 19 points. Right? Like I said, I'm not worried so much about the regular season. I think Lakers, I still believe, will finish top 4 seed. But Luka's got to get out of his slump before the playoffs. Because if he has this slump in the playoffs, Lakers are going to be in trouble. Like I said, the only chance the Lakers have of winning a chip or even just advancing far in the playoffs is you need LeBron James and Luka to be transcending. If LeBron and Luka are transcending and Austin Reeves is great, Lakers have a chance. Lakers can beat anybody. But Luka has not been that. He's had games, he's had moments, he's had stretches, but overall just not he's been very inconsistent, and he needs to figure out his inconsistencies, right? Because it's frustrating watching this game. It's like, this is a huge game. We needed you to step up. We needed you to show up, and you weren't there. Dorian Finney-Smith had his struggles this game, not just shooting, but it just felt like he was like a step slow today. I don't know what it was. Honestly, I probably would have went with Jared Vanderbilt because I thought Jared Vanderbilt was much better. I thought Jared Vanderbilt was much more active, right? I thought, and look, Dorian Finney-Smith has been fantastic, right? Like, this was a bad game from him, but I don't want to like bad games happen. The guy has been one of our best players since we traded for him. One of our most consistent players. However, Dorian Finney-Smith, this was a bad game from him, right? Not just the shooting. I mean, he was 0 of 5 from 3, 1 of 6 overall, but it was just everything else. He didn't rebound the ball well. He just was fumbling the ball at times. He just wasn't moving and shifting well. Usually that's a strong suit. Like, yeah, the shooting, he's been much better shooting the basketball, but he's a role player. He's going to have his inconsistencies, but the beauty of him is his rebounding, his defense, his versatility, right? He just wasn't that tonight. He just had his struggles. Same thing with Gabe Vincent, right? And both of those guys were coming off of huge games, 20-point games. Gabe Vincent, I felt like, was just kind of out there. It was like cardio Gabe again in a lot of ways. But I thought Jared Vanderbilt, I thought he was solid. He only got 3 shots. He was 0-1 from 3. But again, if Dorian Finney-Smith is not giving you the shooting and he's struggling, like, at least Jared Vanderbilt had 7 rebounds, including 3 offensive. And I just thought he was much more active and better defensively. But we'll see. Hopefully, again, Lakers kind of figure this out. You got to beat the Pelicans tomorrow. You cannot botch that game. Lakers beat the Pelicans. You got 5 games left. You got to win, ideally 4 out of those 5. You're probably losing at least 1 to the Thunder. I just don't think the Lakers can lose both to the Thunder. If they beat the Thunder at least once and handle business in, the other 3 games, Lakers will be fine. That'll give them 51 wins, I think, off the top of my head. And the Lakers will be fine. But we'll see. Even if they lose 2, luckily, like I said, they have the tiebreakers against everybody. I think Lakers bare minimum have to beat the Pelicans. You beat the Pelicans. And then if you go 3-2 down the stretch, I think the Lakers will be fine. I think they'll be a top 4 seed, and we'll figure it out from there. But anyway, real quick, let's jump into the Super Chats, jump into the regular chat after the Super Chats. But real quick, hit that like button for me, hit that subscribe button, and let's jump into it. Cypher, coming out, $2 Super Chat. Thank you so much. The refs really made sure the Warriors won. I mean, so there was like a stretch where Steph clearly was flopping, like plain as day flopping. And he got it like 3 times. And I mean, to his credit, he knew Lakers were out of challenges, so they couldn't challenge anything. And he Steph, so he knew he was going to get the whistle. So, I mean, that's just, as frustrating as it is, it's, it was like that was a heads up situation. But so many people talk about the Lakers and their free throws. The Warriors shot 31 free throws, right? Like, they were 26 of 31. Now, so many people are like, oh, Lakers free throws disparity and all that stuff. Well, the Warriors definitely had a free throw disparity, that's for sure. But appreciate you, Cypher. Miguel, coming out the $5 Super Chat. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. The Luka and 4 defenders, Vin, Dorian Finney-Smith, Goodwin, and Vandal lineup ain't it. We need 2 ball handlers at all times for offense to keep humming. I get your point. If Luka was Luka, like what we know Luka can be, it's fine, right? Because you're surrounding him with defenders. Dorian Finney-Smith can knock down the 3 ball. Gabe Vincent can knock down the 3 ball, and Jordan Goodwin can knock down the 3 ball. Right? You put the ball in Luka's hands and you let him go to work. It looks terrible when Luka, because in that situation, Luka is the sole responsible for all of the offense, whether it's the kick out pass or it's him just generating the offense and scoring buckets. When Luka's not doing that, it's terrible because you don't have anyone else that can generate the offense out there. So when you have Luka and 4 defensive units, it looks terrible when Luka's bad. If Luka was cooking, that lineup would look completely different. That lineup would look great, right? Because it's like Luka's generating offense. If you have Dorian Finney-Smith knocking down the occasional 3 and Goodwin knocking down the occasional 3 and Gabe Vincent knocking down the occasional 3, it looked like things look bad when your sole engine isn't your engine, right? Like, a car isn't a car without the engine, right? It's not going anywhere. So like that unit, Luka's the engine, right? If the engine isn't working, then the car is irrelevant, right? The car is just nothing, right? It's just like it's a cool lineup to look at. It's a cool car to look at, but it's not cooking it, right? And that's the Lakers' problem is that type of lineup. You need Luka to be Luka. You need him to go and be cooking and generating the offense and driving the kickouts and guys need to hit shots, right? If Dorian Finney-Smith is hitting shots and Gabe Vincent's hitting shots and Goodwin's hitting shots, then it looks different, right? I think part of that, I don't hate it. I don't. I think if Luka looks like Luka, that lineup can work. I just think right now it's just like it looked terrible because Luka was terrible, right? So it's like, it looked terrible. But who knows? Maybe it is a terrible lineup. We'll find out. But Cypher coming out $10 super chat. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. The game was close, even with the Lakers having a bad shooting game and the refs being extra players for the Warriors. This just shows me the Warriors are bad. Their second round exit at best. I mean, look, I still don't buy. I know they're like now 13-0 or whatever with that lineup. Look, Lakers were what? They were, I think, 8-0 or 12-1 or something like that with Rui when they, last year when they integrated Rui, and then the Lakers ran into a bad matchup and they got steamrolled, right? Like, again, regular season and playoffs are 2 very different things. Look, the Warriors can beat anybody. I mean, again, they're a good basketball team, right? I like the matchup for the Lakers because the Lakers' size is their advantage. But when they're not doing what they're supposed to do, and they're not defending, and they're not hustling and chasing down loose balls, and the Warriors are getting all the 50-50 balls, and the Lakers are turning the ball over, and the Lakers aren't hitting shots until the game's already over and it's irrelevant, right? Like, you get a result like this, right? Like, that's the problem. The Lakers, if they do what they're supposed to do, then this looks very different. I mean, Lakers took care of the basketball for the most part. They only had 8 turnovers, but still, like, Warriors, you had 2 teams that needed this win. One team looked like they wanted it more, and that was the Warriors. Warriors looked like a team that just wanted it more. Right? They hustled harder. They hit the clutch shots when you needed to. Guys stepped up. Even Jimmy was great for them, and whenever they needed him to hit big shots or do anything, he came through for them, right? But we didn't have our other stars show up, right? Like, again, the Lakers match, if we're going to beat the Lakers, LeBron is going to give you 30 a night, right? Like, LeBron loves to play the Warriors, right? He loves the Steph matchup, So LeBron, he's going to give you 30. If Jimmy Butler or Pod outplays Luka, then yeah, the Warriors are going to steamroll us, right? Warriors will beat us in a 7-game series, right? But if Luka is actually Luka, or even a version of Luka, if he just doesn't get outplayed every game by Jimmy Butler and Pod, the Lakers will win that series. I'm not worried about it, right? Because Austin Reeves will show up. Austin Reeves will outplay those guys. But if their guys outplay our guys, right? If Steph, Jimmy, and Pod outplay LeBron, Luka, and Austin Reeves, then yeah, that's what the matchup's going to be decided on, right? And then, I mean, obviously the role guys are going to be important and stuff like that too. But at the end of the day, it's going to be on our 3 guys versus their best 3 guys. Who delivers? Steph is going to be great. Steph's going to go and give his 30, but so will LeBron. So they'll probably wash each other out, right? Can playoff Luka outplay playoff Jimmy? If he can, then we're good. Because I trust Austin Reeves in a playoff series to outplay Pods. Could a game here and there, sure, but for the most part, right, that's really what it boils down to. Lakers need to handle their business. Like I said, I'm not worried about it. Like, it's not the end of the world yet, but it's just frustrating. We've seen this a lot recently from the Lakers, and it's concerning. Like, I don't want to undersell it. It's concerning. I don't think it's Chicken Little, the sky is falling, but I do think it's a little concerning, and it's something we need to kind of keep an eye on. But Cosmin, coming out $2 super chat. Thank you so much. I'm pissed. We needed this game. We want 3 seed. Yes, I want the 3 seed. I think Lakers need the 3 seed. I wanted this game too. I'm very frustrated about this game, just because again, like, this is a team that I'm very confident the Lakers can beat. I really am. And look, maybe they play in the first round as the 4 or 5 matchup. Maybe they send us home and I'm wrong, right? But I think the Lakers win that series. I really do. I think it'll be a tough series. Like, I don't think the Lakers sweep them or anything like that. I think it goes 6 or 7 because they have the experience. They have all those things, right? But, again, it's just this was an important game. You've had 2 other important games. Lakers showed up for the Memphis game, showed up for the Rockets game. Beautiful. That's what you want to see. Well, you had one more before you played the Pelicans that you needed to win. And the Lakers didn't. Warriors wanted it more. And that's what's frustrating. Look, Warriors shooting the lights out. I mean, Draymond, like I said, I think coming into this game, he's like 4 or 21 or something like that in his recent threes. And then end up hitting 2 out of 4, shot 50% from 3. You live with that. Tip your hat to him. But to have a guy like to allow Pod to go off and drop, what did he have? He had like 30, or 28, go 8 of 10 from 3. It's like, come on, you can't have that, right? Steph is going to do Steph things. I'm not like Steph dropping 37. You live with that. You know what that's going to do, right? Jimmy Butler, no, he was efficient. He did what he was supposed to do, right? He didn't have like some crazy game, but to let, basically their role guys beat you, because Pod had 28, Kuminga had 18, Draymond had 8. It's just you're not winning very many games that way when you let these guys just outplay you. That's what it was. Lakers just got outplayed. They got outworked. So it is very frustrating, but I appreciate you. All right, so let's get into the regular chat here. Hey, what's going on? Appreciate you being here. Luka's defense, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Gabe fall off are the reasons why we lost. Braun, AR, and Rui carried. Yes, agreed. The Warriors are 13-0 with the starters, with Butler. Yeah, with that current starting group. Yeah. We are but definitely this game. Tyler, it's over. Season's over. Shut it down. It's over. Again, I don't think it's over. Lakers absolutely suck. They don't care about winning whatsoever. They have no heart, and the team is talentless. I mean, I disagree. I think the Lakers will be fine, but I think this wasn't a good look. That's for sure. Luka's got to figure it out, right? Look, Luka's one of the greatest scorers ever. I trust that he'll figure it out, but he just hasn't yet, right? But I mean, to be fair, I mean, LeBron had a stretch like this, right, at the beginning of the season, right? He had like a stretch where he was like 0 of 21 from 3 or something like that. He had probably one of the worst games he's ever had in his career earlier in the season, right? Like, slumps happen, right? Like, even JJ said it, like, he'll shoot himself out of it, right? But he's got to do it. He's got to get it before the playoffs, right? Because if he's is inconsistent offensively like he has been come playoff time, Lakers are in trouble. But if he kind of figures it out, like I said, from the moment we traded for Luka, I said, I'm not really worried about now till the end of the season. I'm worried about them. I'm worried about game 1 of the playoffs, right? Like, it has Luka, LeBron, and Austin Reeves. Have they figured it out between that moment to game 1 of the playoffs? If they did, we're fine. You still have, 6 more games to figure it out. So they need to figure it out. LeBron did everything. What a tough night for Dorian Finney-Smith. Yeah, Dorian Finney-Smith struggled, and LeBron did everything. We all right. Bad game for Luka and Dorian Finney-Smith, and Pod's not stopping him. Yeah, like I said, I don't think it's the end of the world. It's frustrating. We needed this win. Warriors are right on our tail. We really need, like I said, Denver to beat them. Which would suck because Denver would be probably finish the 3 seed. But at this point, I care more. Just be a top 4 seed. Get home court in the first round, and let's figure it out from there. Let's see. Let's see. Luka is just not better than LeBron, Tyler. Let's be honest. Luka gets picked on every single uh, play. Teams never pick on LeBron ever. I mean, LeBron's just a better defensive player. If you're talking about defensively, yeah. I mean, LeBron's been much better than Luka, without a doubt. LeBron's been better than Luka. But, again, LeBron's 40 in year 22. We need Luka. Even if you think LeBron is better than Luka, Luka needs to be the best player. Right? You don't want to wear down LeBron. We're trying to win a championship here. We need LeBron ready to go for the playoffs. We need LeBron ready to go for the championship, right? We need Luka to be the guy. It's why LeBron keeps trying to let Luka be the guy. Right? We always know you can just defer to LeBron. At any point, LeBron can just go get you 30, but he shouldn't have to every night for you just to lose, right? Like that shouldn't be happening. Luka's off-ball defense is terrible. Yeah, I did think on-ball he was good tonight, though. I did. I thought he had a good game defensively. He wasn't great. He got put in a blender a couple times, but he's not a great defensive player. This will be the loss we point to and say that's why we are the 4 seed. Also, what do you think trading for Gobert? And I think you might be right about us being the 4 seed because of this game. As far as Rudy Gobert, I get the idea. I just think he's making too much money. I'm not really a fan of Gobert. Like Luka would probably make him like a decent offensive player. I get the size and rim protection, right? And look, to be honest, the Grizzlies are going to have to make some tough decisions. So it is very possible. But because he's making, let me see what his, I see the super chat. I'll get to the super chat next. I just want to answer this last question. So just bear with me 1 second. Because I think isn't his contract pretty hefty? He's making next season 2025, 2026. He's making $35 million next year. It's pretty pricey. He's making $35 million, $36.5 million, and then $38 million at 35. He's probably not opting out of that $38 million. I just think he's too pricey. And, he's getting up there in age. Right? He's still, defensively, great defensive player. He can be that lob threat. I'd rather, the big, bulky size, but he also can be a liability. And we've seen his struggles in the playoffs. I don't know. I personally would stay away. No, I would just go try to sign now if you can. If you can just sign him outright, that'd be beautiful. But Michael, coming out $10 super chat. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Luka was traded midseason. His view of loyalty shattered. Former team dissed him on the way out. Still not 100% new team system. I'm frustrated, but needs a full season. I like your fans, man. Look, I get it. Like, which is why I've defended him so much. And I've had people be like, you need to be more critical of Luka and stuff. Again, like I said, I'm not worried about Luka. Luka will figure it out, right? And look, playoff Luka and regular season Luka are two very different things, right? Playoffs, I've talked about it. Playoffs really suit Luka's style of play because the game slows down, gets more physical, right? He likes to create that dribble penetration. The mid-range is usually open in the playoffs, and he loves to operate in that mid-range, right? I'm not worried about Luka, but he is going through a struggle, right? And I think we need to at least be honest. I do that, there are, of course, inherent overreactions, right? Of course, like I've seen comments from people that are like, "Oh, Lakers got fleeced, worst trade in history." Like it's like, come on, like let's hold our horses here, right? Like Luka is one of the best players in the NBA. Is he having his struggles right now? Sure, right? Again, he missed 7 weeks. He's coming into it, right? But he does. He needs to find his shot. He needs to find his. It's like if people want to be critical, that's fine. It's one thing to be critical. It's another thing to explode. Like, Luka, worst player in the NBA now. Like, dude, the guy's still averaging 28, 8, and 9, right? Like, if that's, a terrible player, I'll take it, right? Like, it's just, we need Luka to be better, right? We do. We need him to be better. I mean, he's rebounding the ball well. He's making plays. The guy's still magic out there. It's just, he can't find a shot. But I'm not worried about it because, again, he's getting to all his spots. And he's getting his shot off. He just can't find the bottom of the net consistently, right? But he's getting everything he wants. He's great in the dribble penetration. getting to his spots. He's getting to the rim. He's blowing by the defender. He's putting them in spin cycles. Like, the guy's getting what he wants. He just needs to find that touch. His shooting touch has just been inconsistent and all over the place. But again, I trust him to figure it out. I trust him to work it out between now and the playoffs. But appreciate you. Thank you. Yeah, Pod was great for them. They just got lucky. Pod caught fire. Yeah. Lakers can't buy a bucket. Yeah. Dude, they had like literally a 5-minute stretch where there was a cap on a lid on the bucket. Let's see. Luka has had too many games where he has been a complete liability on the court. LeBron's floor is at least being an elite defender when his shot isn't going. Houston game was an example of it. Look, let's not pretend like LeBron had a terrible game 3 games ago. Let's not pretend guys don't have bad games, bad moments, bad stretches. Again, right? Like, LeBron single-handedly lost us a game the other day. What's it, the Bulls? Right? Like, it was terrible. Right? Like, it's just, again, bad games happen. Bad stretches happen. Right? Yes, LeBron's been great defensively. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not trying to take away from him defensively. But let's not pretend like Luka isn't doing other things. Right? He's still rebounding the ball excellent. He's still, making plays and getting others involved and getting assists, and he's still being a distraction, right? He's still doing other things. Like, let's not pretend like Luka's just this bum out there that's just like, he's doing nothing. He's unplayably bad, right? Like, I get it. LeBron has been great. Don't want to take away from him. Austin Reeves has been great. Luka has been inconsistent. It's fine to be like, hey, Luka's having his struggles. He's having his troubles, right? It's fine. But let's not pretend like Luka's just doing nothing out there. Like, the guy's just a total bum. Let's see. Reeves better than Luka. You can argue Reeves has been more consistent than Luka for sure. Let's see. Well. I have a lot to say. First off, the only player to show up offensively were Reeves, LeBron, and Rui. Secondly, I better not hear any more trade talk or benching Reeves because it's goofy. I mean, again, don't be surprised, man. Like, strange things happen. Let's see. Rest versus the Lakers as usual. But how many wide open shots are we going to miss? Yeah, I mean, Lakers, like I said, they had a literal lid on the net, on the hoop earlier. You still want to face the Warriors in the playoffs? Absolutely. Again, regular season and playoffs are not, they're almost completely different sports, right? If you've ever watched LeBron's career, you should know regular season and playoffs are completely things. I mean, look at the Raptors would sweep Cleveland in the playoffs or in the regular season, and then LeBron would sweep them in the playoffs. Same thing with Atlanta and all kinds of things. Lakers have lost season series to Memphis. They lost the season series and then smacked them in the playoffs, right? Like, again, regular season playoffs are very different things, right? Playoff Reeves, playoff Luka, the effort and energy, the execution, playing teams, up to 7 times in a series, right? Like, it's a very different world. Lakers' problem wasn't Warriors are just better than them. Lakers' problem was Warriors just out-hustled them and outshot them, right? Like, Lakers couldn't get stops down the stretch. We only afford to lose at least 3 losses of our last 6 games and praying other teams lose just 1, especially the Warriors. I don't even think they can lose 3. I think they got to go at least 4-2 down the stretch. You lose 2 games, I think you'll be all right. Got to beat the Pelicans. You go 4-2 down the stretch, I think the Lakers will be fine. I think that'll be enough to be okay. Yeah, Luka was not great. Trade Luka to the Suns. Let's relax, God. Yes, LeBron and AR did their thing. Yeah, Luka definitely had a bad night. Let's see. LeBron is hands down over Luka and Tatum. Tyler, you can't keep talking about someone picking spots whenever we need LeBron. He answers the call every time and more. I mean, he didn't answer the call 3 games ago against Chicago, right? Again, LeBron's great. I don't want to take away from LeBron, but again, there's guys have bad nights. Guys have bad stretches, right? Let's not pretend like LeBron hasn't had those too. Look, I'm a LeBron guy. Look, I'm on record saying LeBron's the greatest player ever. LeBron has been fantastic, right? But again, we can't like we have to the pendulum swing. Again, it's like, look, LeBron has been great. LeBron loves to play the Warriors. He was fantastic tonight. He showed up. But there have been games where Luka showed up and LeBron did it, right? Like there's been those in betweens. They have to put it together, right? It can't be LeBron is the best player and Luka and Reeves are pedestrian, or Luka's the best player and LeBron and Reeves are pedestrian. Like they have to figure it out. Let's see. Not having AD is a huge difference. I mean, because it gives you that interior size for sure. But if Luka played better, the Lakers might have won this game. If Luka was like half decent, the Lakers might have won this game. It comes down to it. Yes, we trade him for a fortune. Lakers would get swept in a series. I doubt that. Even if the Lakers lose that series, I do not see them get swept. That's for sure. I mean, LeBron by himself would probably win them a game. I don't know about getting swept. Let's see. We lost the game because of Luka and nothing else. He guarded poorly, poor shooting, etc. But we'll bounce back. I mean, I thought he was bad off ball, but on ball defensively, outside of like those two plays from Steph where he just like put him in a blender. But he does that even to the best defenders in the league. I thought Luka was very good on ball. I thought he was aggressive. He held his own. Right, he stayed in front of guys. He had a couple like good just like stops, and then just guys didn't rotate. I don't think he had that bad of a defensive game. Lakers did. Luka didn't do anything. This what the Lakers get for trading their best defender. 80 would have beat them with no problem. I think if Luka shows up, Lakers beat them tonight, but he didn't. Oh yeah, we need to win tomorrow for sure. This is why last stream I said I'd rather play Grizz or someone else other than the Warriors. I still would want them. I still would prefer. Again, I think the Lakers beat either of them, and I do think there is a chance that the Lakers beat the Grizzlies quicker than the Warriors. My problem with the Grizzlies is their interior size and interior physicality, and I don't think the game will be as physical with the Warriors as it will be with the Grizzlies. They're not the grit and grind Grizzlies. This isn't like Mike Conley Grizzlies, prime with like, Marc Gasol and stuff like that. But Zach Edey's still 7'4", 300 pounds. Like Triple J is still, a big interior, like not like he's not like, Zach Edey level, but he's still like, I worry about the interior against the Grizzlies and just, again, I think the Lakers make it out. Like I'm not worried about the Lakers losing to the Grizzlies, but I could see the Lakers being more beat up in a Grizzlies series than a Warriors series, right? Because the Warriors are going to take a ton of threes. Like it's going to be a pace and space type game, which I think favors the Lakers if they can get their defense right and actually show up on the rebounding and offensive side and all that stuff. But Dustin, coming out the final super chat. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. The Luka trade may have given us confidence versus Denver, but the loss of AD, our edge over Golden State, is probably gone until we get a big. Again, I still think the Lakers beat the Warriors in a playoff series. I really do. And I also, again, if Luka half showed up tonight, right, like this is probably a very different game. The Warriors just out hustled us in a lot of ways. I mean, how many times did we get quality stops? There was two times that the Lakers cut it to 8, got the stop, gave up the offensive board. One of the times they gave up 2 offensive boards, and both times it was a 3, right? Like that's the difference. Because now it goes from an 8-point game to you running out and maybe cutting it to 6 or 5, and then maybe getting another stop and changing momentum to they just gain back momentum as you cut into the lead. I think a lot of it was just they outplayed us, they out-hustled us, they outworked us. Lakers couldn't get stops, right? They scored 116 points, right? They gave up 123. You're not winning very many games giving up 123 points. Right? Like that's the problem. I mean, it was like the same thing against Chicago, not the game-winning one, but the other one where they scored like 146. Like you're not winning very many games giving up 120 plus points. How were the Lakers winning during their stretch, right? When they won 8 games straight and they won something like 12 out of 14 or whatever, right? They did it by holding teams They were like holding teams like 103 points. Like that's, and again, I'm not expecting them to do that regularly, but can't give up 123 points. The Warriors were getting whatever they wanted. Lakers were still, outside of that second quarter stretch, Lakers were still getting whatever they wanted. But when you have a 10 to 16 point lead, right, you don't have to get the stops. As long as they can't stop you, you're going to win. And that's what happened, right? Warriors got that lead and they never looked back because the Lakers couldn't get the stops. The Warriors couldn't really stop the Lakers either, but it didn't matter. It was irrelevant, right? Because we don't have to stop you. As long as you can't stop us, we're going to win. So I still like the matchup. I just, again, like losing Anthony Davis is definitely a concern because of the interior presence. David, coming out the $5 super chat. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Hope Lakers peak when playoffs start. We are competitive versus Golden State, Denver, Houston, Memphis, Clippers. Interesting to see how they fare against OKC and Dallas with their bigs. Yes. Again, playoffs and regular season are very different games, very different sports in a lot of ways, right? More half-court sets. Right? Playoffs favor players like LeBron, Luka, and Austin Reeves. Right, their experience, them being in these big moments, even guys like Dorian Finney-Smith stuff. He had a bad game this game, but he's a guy that's gone on playoff or deep playoff runs. He's a guy that's gone to conference finals and all that stuff, right? Like, I like the matchups, but like I've always maintained, right? As much as I think the Lakers can beat everybody, I also think all those teams can beat the Lakers, right? Like I think the Lakers can beat Denver, Golden State, Houston, Memphis, Clippers, but I also think that those teams can beat the Lakers. Right? At the end of the day, it really boils down to, again, Luka and LeBron being great. If Luka and LeBron are transcending and they are the two best players on the court every night, and Reeves is great, right? And he's the third best player on the court every night, or some nights he's the best or whatever. If he's great and LeBron and Luka are transcending, Lakers will beat anybody. I'm confident in the Lakers winning a championship. Problem is like they got to figure that out. So far, we've had one game where they had like 85 together that we won, right? We've yet to have a game where they've really put it together. Because even in that game, the defense wasn't great, right? What does this look like when the defense's intensity is there and Luka, LeBron, and Reeves are playing their best? I think the Lakers can beat anybody in that stretch, right? But it's going to be interesting to see how they match up against OKC. Like I said, I don't expect the Lakers to beat OKC twice. But you got to win at least one of those. And Dallas is going to be interesting too. But like, if Luka's going to show up, if Luka's going to figure it out, it's going to be the Dallas game, more likely than not. But appreciate you, David. Stakes coming out $2 super chat. AD can contribute when he isn't scoring. Luka can't. I mean, again, Luka's not getting rebounds. He's not getting assists. How many? He had what? He had. Luka had 8 rebounds and 7 assists with only 1 turnover. Like, that's contributing, right? Like, the contributions, right? Like, again, there's more to the game than just scoring the basketball. If you mean like AD, playing defense, then yeah, sure. But again, like Luka's there to generate offense and rebound the basketball, right? Generating offense not just as a playmaker, but as a scorer, right? When he's not doing that, he's still impacting the game in other ways. Right? I mean, look, Anthony Davis has had bad games. Let's not pretend like a couple of years ago people weren't screaming to trade Anthony Davis because he was inconsistent and struggled. And I mean, even in the playoffs, remember he'd have one good game, one bad game, one good game, one bad game, and he was just like all over the place and inconsistent. That wasn't that long ago, right? Like, again, like we gotta let things. You can't be prisoners of the moment. Is my point, right? We gotta let things play itself out. Like Luka contributed. Did he have a great game? No, right? Not by any stretch, but he still contributed. He was great on ball, or not great. It's probably a bad way to phrase it. He was good on ball. He was bad off ball, but he was good on ball defensively. He rebounded and he made plays. He was terrible offensively, and he's got to figure it out. He's got to stop being so inconsistent. Not sure Ben Bench will be better yet. Dorian Finney-Smith and Luka did everything to sell in the fourth quarter, give AR and Braun the ball. Luka, this is why the third option hitting all the important shots and not Luka. Luka has had a lot of time with LA now. But again, context matters. Had a lot of time after missing 7 weeks, being on a new team. LeBron is out. Reeves was out for stretches, right? Luka comes in. He had stretches where he was like the guy. He had stretches where it was just him and Reeves, right? Like, and look, during those stretches where it was just like him and Reeves, he was great, right? Like, again, he wasn't good. Like, I don't want to, but let's let things develop, right? Like, yes, it is concerning because he has had enough games to start figuring stuff out, without a doubt. He's had ways to figure some stuff out. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve criticism. I criticized him when we started this live stream, right? Talked about how he needs to be better. He needs to be more consistent, right? He's been inconsistent, but again, like the guy is the guy's had great games. The guy has had those games where you're like, oh man, this guy is everything we need. All right. Yeah. Especially after they both came off of 20, right? 20 pieces. I mean, I'm not saying that they're gonna give you 20 a night, but like, you gotta at least have some level of consistency. Um, let's see. Finney Smith's shot is so inconsistent. Common man, at least hit one all wide open looks. You practice those. I mean, he's like I said, he's a seventh, eighth, ninth guy. Like most guys are like that, right? Like he does have to be more consistent. He's shot before. I mean, going in this game, he shot like I think 52%, something like that in the last like 5 games. He shot the ball very well. I mean, again, he shot the lights out last game, right? It's just guys have duds. Um, um, let's see. I am a huge Dorian Finney-Smith fan, but he is 30% why we lost. He can't be having games like that. Yeah, look, he was not great at all this game at all. He's got to be better. But I said, let's see how they show up, right? Let's see. Luka just looks at the ball like who it's going to me. What? Facts sit LeBron. Next game, guarantee Luka won't. I'm okay with them sitting LeBron. Try to let Luka get into a rhythm. If he's, I mean, playing the Pelicans, if you can't get a rhythm against the Pelicans, especially since they don't have Zion, CJ McCollum, they don't have like anybody, right? Like, Curry made Luka look like he had oil on the bottom of his shoes. Luka was on skates playing defense tonight. Yeah, he had that one sequence in particular where he just put him in a blender. But I mean, that's what Curry does, right? Curry does that to everybody. How you been, Tyler? It's been a while. JJ should have pulled the plug now. The starters are cooked for tomorrow's game. I mean, I think if it got out of hand, I mean, Lakers cut it to 5 late? Like they just again couldn't get stops on the stretch. I mean, the game's close enough where you can't really pull the plug. Something happens. Warriors missed a shot or two. All of a sudden, Lakers are in it, especially as hot as they were. Right? You almost would have rather the Lakers kind of fold there at the end and let the Warriors kind of run away with it, because I think JJ would have pulled the plug. Like the Warriors pushed it to like 17 with like 5 minutes left. I think he just sits everybody. Right? But problem is, like, it was still in striking range up until really the last minute. So I don't really blame him for that. We lost because of those offensive rebounds we allowed in the second quarter. They went on a run. Lakers offense with Luka couldn't get one back game over. Yeah, Lakers lost this game in the second quarter, without a doubt. Like I said, they had a 5-minute stretch where they just couldn't score, and that really messed them up. Let's see. I tried warning y'all about the AD trade. Many of y'all said the Lakers got better defensively after trading AD. I tried warning y'all. They suck without AD. I don't know who said. I mean, Lakers were better defensively without AD for a stretch, but I don't think anyone really thought the Lakers were better defensively without AD. Right? Like that was the whole conversation. I mean, we even had conversation on this channel about like, can the Lakers be good enough? And even most of the media was like, Lakers are going to be, potentially bad defensively, but they're going to be so much better offensively. Look, you'd still do that trade all day, including Sunday, right? Like Lakers still, I believe, won that trade. Again, Luka had a bad night, but again, can't be prisoners of the moment, right? Like, got to let things figure out. Luka sold this one almost as bad as Braun did in Chicago. Yeah, it was a pretty bad game. Let's see. Luka can handle the ball, but AR needs to have the ball just as much as Luka. He's special, man. I mean, look, AR has been, especially these last like 35 games now at this point. Like, dude, he's been amazing. He really has. He's been very good. But yeah, I need to balance it out. They need to figure it out. They still have work to do, right? They still have a lot that they need to kind of figure out and work through. Hopefully they figure that out sooner rather than later, because we're getting to the home stretch here. And we'll see how it plays out. All right, let's see. That Warriors fan is going to be insufferable. I haven't seen him yet. I haven't seen him so far. I haven't gotten into the chat, and I'm only going to go for probably about 10 more minutes, but because it's already almost 1 o'clock here, so we have to start playing Dalton. I disagree. I mean, again, Lakers' problem has been defense. Dalton doesn't really give you defense. Again, Lakers scored 116 points. It's more than enough points for you to win. Guys, we knew when we got Luka, we basically punted on this year. Lakers won't be real till they get a defender with Luka. I don't think that they punted on the year. You know, again, I actually think, and I still stand by, I think the Lakers have a better chance of winning a championship the way they currently are than they did with than the current regime with Anthony Davis and LeBron. Now, granted, to be fair, if the Lakers don't trade for Luka, I don't like, who knows what the team looks like, right? If the Lakers don't trade for Luka, do they go get that center, right? Maybe they go trade for Nick Claxton, and maybe they go get another 3-and-D guy, right? Maybe they, maybe they go and pony up and trade for Cam Johnson. Who knows, right? Like, who knows what the Lakers would have done had they not got Luka, right? This team probably looks very different, but let's just for argument's sake, say the Lakers stood pat versus the team we have right now. I trust this team more to win than the team with LeBron and AD. Right? I just think, I mean, Luka's just the better playoff performer. Right? Now, if Luka plays like he did today, then yeah, Lakers, it's going to be a quick playoff run. Frustrating is an understatement. Lakers are so inconsistent. You never know which Lakers team is going to show up these days. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. You still believe Warriors are the easiest matchup. You are still wanting to play the Warriors in the playoffs. You can't stick with Curry. 100%. I still think that they're the best matchup for the Lakers. And in round one, I do. Nothing's changed. Again, Lakers didn't lose because Curry dropped 60. I mean, Curry did Curry things, but you expect that, right? What you don't expect is Pod hitting 8 threes and doing all this other stuff. It was all the other things. Like, Lakers just got to have better effort is really what it was. A lot of this was just effort. Let's see. When we're down, winning is disgusting. Yeah, I mean, they're like besties. So, let's see. Sorry, trying to find something. Luka is useless when he's not scoring efficiently. I disagree about useless. That I think that's the wrong word. He's concerning, that's for sure, but useless. I mean, the guy still giving you 9 points and 9 rebounds and 9 assists, and Lakers beat them next time. Yeah, I mean, Lakers. I'm fine. I trust the Lakers to get it done. One, the Warriors needed this game more than the Lakers. 2, having just AR mostly and partly LeBron be the guy running the offense has to be a coaching strategy to see how it plays out. I mean, possibly. Also, those 2 were just the better players, right? So, he hurt us this game, that's for sure. We beat Golden State in 6 games. I agree. I think the Lakers still beat them in 6 games. Luka didn't show up. You're right. They needed this win 3-1 though. Yeah. Warriors defense was on the Lakers like a shadow. Yeah, like I said, Warriors brought the intensity. Warriors played like a team that wanted it more. It's really what it was. Lakers just didn't show up the way we needed them to. Yes, they have been recently. Recently, they've been very inconsistent. After having like a 2-month stretch where they were like the most consistent. Let's see. Lakers very slow start. They actually started hot. Austin Reeves hit like 2 straight threes and had a hot first. It was that second quarter that really killed us. They just made shots and we didn't. I'll win tomorrow, then prep for the biggest game versus the OKC. Yes. Chicken Little, Tyler Real one like me. Yeah. Well, thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, the game was decided in the second quarter. Agreed. This is a new Warrior team. Y'all don't want the smoke. And I know this dude isn't going to read this chat. I always read the chat. What are you talking about? Dude, you're here all the time. Usually you're just like cussing and saying a bunch of nonsense. I'm not going to bring up a bunch of cuss words. If you leave a normal comment, then yeah, I always bring it up. I've brought your comments up before. What are you talking about? You're in this chat all the time. But yes, again, like I understand it's a new Warriors team. Lakers still should have won this game. Right? They just showed half an effort. They win this game. I'm not worried about the Warriors. Warriors are not like let's hold our horses. Can we talk about Luka today? I talked a lot about Luka today. How bad he was. He was bad. He's bad today. I don't think the Lakers are going to even get into the NBA Finals. Too many weaknesses in this roster. I mean, there's definitely concern. Like I said, the only way the Lakers make the finals and win the championship is if Luka and LeBron are transcending. Luka has done more with less, right? LeBron has done more with less. If those two are great, the Lakers have a chance, right? Lakers have a legit chance, right? And if Austin Reeves has to be great, right? Luka and LeBron, if they're what we know they can be come playoff time, and Austin Reeves is great, Lakers, I can easily see winning the NBA Finals. If they're not, or they're inconsistent, or whatever, then yes, I think it's going to be potentially a very quick. It's why I've always maintained. Do I believe the Lakers can win the championship? Yes, but I wouldn't bet on it, right? Every team, there's not a team that I look at that go, the Lakers have zero chance of beating. Whether it's OKC, Denver, you name it. There's no team in the league that I look at and go, Lakers are not beating that team. There's just not, right? But there's not a team that I look at and go, oh, Lakers blow through that team. Like, I don't think the Lakers sweep anybody. I don't. I think all these matchups are going to be probably 6-7 game matchups. Yeah, Dorian Finney-Smith couldn't. Pelicans with the upset? I sure hope not. This was always going to catch up to them not having a 5. They are practically basically 5-on-4. Yeah, at times, yeah. Lakers definitely need a center. Tyler, these guys came with zero energy, and this Luka is arguably the worst player in the world. Obviously, I don't know about the worst player in the world. Again, the guy's averaging 28, 8, and 9. Like, he had a bad game. It was ugly. It wasn't great, but like, let's not keep things. Let's not be prisoners of the moment. How about playing a center? I mean, they do. Jackson Hayes had 3 rebounds and 2 points. Great game, but ugly loss. Shaking my head. Yes. The game at the end was a lot of fun. It's just too bad the Lakers were so far behind. Hate pause it. Vinny was playing lazy. I would have been subbed him in the fourth quarter. Vando, shaking my head. This loss on Coach. I said it earlier. I would have probably went with Vando in that fourth quarter too over Dorian Finney-Smith. I don't think Dorian Finney-Smith played lazy. I think he got in early foul trouble and just kind of like laxed. Like, he wasn't as aggressive as he usually is because he had like 3 fouls, in like the second quarter. So I think it just kind of threw everything off for him. But he wasn't great in other areas. Like usually he like rebounds well and he's like, everywhere and he's just impacting the game in a multitude of ways. I just felt like he didn't really do that this game. Cosmin, I don't see a comment. So I don't know if you were just supporting. If you were, I appreciate it. But if you had a comment, I don't have where's my number? Oh, it's charging. Darn it. I'll let me answer a couple more questions, then I'll check. If you want, leave a comment at the bottom. I'm gonna do a couple more questions in order just for the people that were here, and then I'll jump to your super chat if you have a comment in a moment. Because I'm gonna skate out of here in a few minutes. Like I said, it's almost 1 a.m. I gotta make videos for the morning and all that stuff. So it's gonna be a long night. Adjusting to this, where like these late games now, I'm up till like 1 a.m. Sucks, right? Like it's probably the biggest adjustment for moving in Wisconsin, right? Luka definitely had a stinker game. I told y'all Lakers weren't contenders the same day they traded AD. I didn't wait to see how Luka and LeBron would play before giving my prediction. I warned y'all up front. I still think Lakers are contenders. I think Lakers will be fine. Tyler wants to see the Warriors. I absolutely want to see the Warriors. I'm fine with the Warriors. At least many of us count on the Dodgers. If the Lakers can't beat the Warriors, they're not winning a championship. So bring on the Warriors. Let's see. Luka stripped in the end. How about Draymond at the end was frustrating to see. Clear strip and still complaining to the refs. He has to stop that. That's probably my biggest issue with Luka is how much he complains to the refs. Like LeBron complains a lot to the refs. Luka makes LeBron look normal, right? Like LeBron is a guy where, I mean, it's frustrating at times where like LeBron's crying to the refs and other teams get back in transition and LeBron's just trotting up the court. I mean, we've all complained about that numerous times. Luka makes LeBron look like he's normal, right? Like it's crazy. Let's see. Nico hustled. I know you're trolling, but probably a lot of people feel that way. Rui playing hurt and still did pretty good. Yeah, Rui was great. Tyler, I'm wrong about the Warriors, but I don't want to see them in the first round. We can't stop them because if we face them in the first round, it's going to be a first round exit first. I disagree. I still think the Lakers beat them. I do. I really do. I still am fine seeing them in the first round. Again, obviously things can change, but we'll see. But let me get to we do Coswin's comment, and then if I get another super chat, I'll do it. But if not, then I'm gonna skid on out of here after this, just because like I said, it's 1 a.m, and I got a bunch of like 5 videos I need to record, edit. I'm gonna be up till like 6 a.m. Coswin, again, thank you so much for the super chat. Really do appreciate it. It's all good. Are we going to be good? The pendulum swing is what it is. Yeah, exactly. But Luka got to find a way to be Luka as long as we take care of business at the end of the season. Prep for the first. We'll get it together. Yeah, get it, right? Like fans are going to pendulum swing, right? It's what it is. It's how it goes, right? But are there concerns? Of course. But there were concerns even before the Luka trade, right? Like people act like the Lakers were just like this perfectly built team and was just ready to, run away with the chip, right? There's always going to be concerns, right? The thing is that I do think the Lakers have a chance. I do think the Lakers have a real legit shot. But it really comes down to them, right? Luka's got to figure it out. He's struggling. But let's not pretend like players don't struggle. Again, LeBron had a worse struggle than this earlier in the season. Again, LeBron had a stretch where he was like 0 of 21 from 3. He had that one game where he had like 11 points, but he was like 3 of 15 from the floor and like had like probably one of the worst games he's had of his career. Like, again, things happen. Stretches happen. Bad stretches happen. Circumstances matter, but we'll figure it out, right? Like I said, the moment we traded for Luka, I'm not worried about moment we trade from Luka to, the end of the season. I worry about game 1 of the playoffs, whoever it is, Denver, Warriors, Memphis, Timberwolves, whoever it is. I don't care. Whoever it is. At the end of the day, if we show up, I trust it. Right? I trust it. Lakers, the best version of the Lakers we've seen can beat anybody. Boston, right? Knicks, Thunder, Warrior, you name it. Lakers just have to be that team. But anyway, like I said, I'm gonna get on out of here because like I said, it's late. I know I usually try to get through the end of the chat or as close as I can. But like I said, these late games, I still got to adjust to because like I said, it's almost 1 a.m. But I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Seriously, you guys are awesome. We'll be back again tomorrow. I got to go record and edit. It's going to be a long night for me, but it's all right. It's part of the gig. That's why I appreciate you guys hanging out with me, riding with me. You guys are beautiful. Everyone that gave me super chats, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Oh, let me plug this real quick because I'm like 9 subs away from getting to 1,000 on that new channel, that personal channel that I created. And yeah, it'd be awesome if I could do that. And then once I get to 1,000 subs, I need to do some live streams there so I can get the watch time hours, and then I can get that channel monetized. That would be beautiful. So here, let me plug this. So if you can, for me, even if you already watched this video, I would appreciate you if you just like watched it, or just like play all for me and just like let it play even when you're sleeping. You guys would be awesome, because I do need to get the watch hours. But click that link, go check out that video, and subscribe to that new channel. I would really appreciate that if you could do that for me. I want to try to get that new channel monetized, so that way I can, And then, like I said, we're still looking for a new house in the process. Talk to the bank today and everything like that. So once I get that, then I'll get a background up for one, and then two, I want to start doing like some videos. Like, I don't want to make it a family channel or anything, but show some videos with my life and stuff. Kind of give you guys like a peek behind the curtain, and then keep just make it having fun, right? It's just a fun channel. I'm not going to post every day or anything like that. Just kind of like when I can. But anyway, I've talked enough. I appreciate you guys. Like this video on the way out. Subscribe to the channel on your way out. You guys are